Dan sneezes violently. Michael tries to get to the door, but before he can do so, Dan jumps out of the bed in queer white clothes with a stick in his hand, goes over and puts his back against it.
That you walk out through that door.
We'll be going now, lady of the house. The rain is falling, but the air is kind.
Dan goes over to them, crying out impatiently.
Go out of that door, I'm telling you, and do your blathering below in the glen.
Come along with me now, lady of the house. And it's not my blather you'll be hearing only, but you'll be hearing the herons crying out over the black lakes, and you'll be hearing the grouse, and the owls with them, and the larks and the big thrushes when the days are warm. And it's not from the like of them you'll be hearing a talk of getting old like Peggy Kavanagh.
A long whistle is heard outside.
The devil mend her. Do you hear that, stranger? Did you ever hear another woman could whistle like of that with 2 fingers in her mouth?
And losing the hair off you, and the light of your eyes. But it's fine songs you'll be hearing when the sun goes up, and there'll be no old fellow wheezing like the like of a sick sheep close to your ear.
Michael is slinking after them, but Dan stops him.
Sit down now and take a little taste of the stuff, Michael Dara. There's a great drought on me, and the night is young.
Michael comes back to the table.
And it's very dry I am, surely, with the fear of death you put on me. And I after driving mountain ewes since the turn of the day.
He throws away his stick.
I was thinking to strike you, Michael Dara, but you're a quiet man. God help you. And I don't mind you at all.
He pours out 2 glasses of whiskey and gives one to Michael.
Your good health, Michael Dara.
God reward you, Daniel Burke. And may you have a long and quiet life and a good health with it.
They drink. It's only 3 or 4 things. It's very, very, very masculine. And, probably 2 of the biggest things have happened to these men in their life has happened in the last 5 minutes. And there's not one reference to it. His wife is gone, he's on his own, and the other fellas, he had proposed to her and all that.
The male bond and how quickly it happened, how they bonded very, very quickly. And immediately you could see Dan's working overtime. That's grand now. I'll replace, with Nora. I'll replace Nora with Michael. And this isn't, and it might work out grand. It'll be grand. Yeah.
The words, the actions, the reactions, the stage directions, the pauses, they're all clues that the writer gives us. Clues that we can investigate and then create a world that the writer has made. Like a text. It's like a map. The text is like a map that has been laid out for us to follow. It's almost like looking for a treasure.
I think it's funny and also sad the way that Nora talks about her worries and inner feelings, and all Michael Dara wants to do is count the money.
Dan is given the role of patriarch insofar as he is in the home. He is the home holder and holds the powerful position of security. That would have been the norm at the time and influenced society. Decisions such as arranged marriage, daughter or son destined for a life as a priest or no more, all legacy of the right of primogeniture. Inheriting the first son. Synge teases out the toxic masculinity, beats his wife and drinks. Dan wants a compliant younger wife, and at the end is more comfortable with the biddable Michael.
From the start, Synge uses the device of foreshadowing, warning the audience of things to come. Duplicity is central to the narrative, with Dan deceiving Nora into thinking he is dead, and Nora saving up to make a better life for herself with a younger man. The threat of violence hangs in the air as the play unfolds. The scene is set in a lonely, untamed and rugged landscape which mirrors the lives of the protagonists, a land where people go mad and not even the yos can be controlled. And perhaps control is one of the mainstays of this narrative, A cast of mostly men and only one woman reflects the political power and control by men in society at that time. As the plot unfolds, we discover that Nora is no frightened female and not afraid of beggar or bishop or any man of you at all. Her soliloquies are a tale of unrealized potential, which subsequently leads to self-discovery as she chooses to leave her violent husband and her lover to make a new life with the carefree tramp.
I think a lot with Nora as well, with the character, it's, you know, it's that thing again, it's kind of like, it's even modern day terms, it's security. Like, I suppose as actors in our profession, insecurity is just part of the parcel, and you get so used to it as other people choose security. So I think Nora, that was one thing for me, she kind of chose security over her own personal choices. And that's something then that she realizes later down the road, that she's like, actually, I don't want this, you know. And, you know, and that choice, having to leave with the tramp and leave all that security behind, for anyone to have to leave any kind of security behind is a very brave choice, and to go out into the unknown. And like that, I love the fact that this plays, we don't know what happens, you know, like what, you know, what happens when she goes on the road, you know, does life, is kind of like, does, you know, so I love that. I love that.
Often termed a feminist tract, the shadow of the Glen continues to fall on all women, reminding them that there are always choices if they have the courage to make them. I really enjoyed these workshops and have learned much about how to read and explore the narrative of this and other plays. Many thanks.
So, a parting thought. Consider this. Consider the power of the word. In the shadow of the Glen, the writer has created a harsh world outside and inside. Remote, rugged, wet, a poverty of choice, dead ends, a peculiar brooding on the back hills, insanity, violence, the inevitable advance of age, and people dying roaring. And into all of that, out into all of that, he throws his leading lady. The tramp has ways to moderate it. The rain is falling, the air is kind. You'll not be sitting up on a wet ditch the way you're after sitting in this place. It's not my blather you'll be hearing only, but the crairns crying out over the black lakes. You'll be hearing the grouse, the owls with them, the larks and the big thrushes when the days are warm. Now, she's more practical, and she knows as soon as she steps out over that threshold, she's going to get soaked. You know, she knows all that. But yet she replies, "You've a fine bit of talk, stranger, and let's with yourself I'll go." So the question I ask is that in the beginning, when we read the first thing that we read, we said, it says this, Synge, the last cottage at the head of a long glen in County Wicklow. So Synge takes us to the last cottage. He takes us to the edge of the world, because it's there that he examines the human condition. Because it's there when you're stuck with these, you know, the really vital, basic, primitive things of life, that he asks, I think, do the words that he gives the tramp, do they work? And her answer is, yeah, I'm going to get wet, but, you know, you have a good bit of chat. Now, and I don't mean that dismissively. Is the writer saying that there are big questions for which we have no answers, like where do we come from, what are we, where are we going? Is he saying that poetry is the best we have? And is he saying that it's poetry against the void? Is he saying that words are really, in the end, they're all we have? And I think that for himself, as an artist, the answer to that is yes. So, there you go. Poetry against the void.